Muting everything. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bearded J podcast.
Welcome back.
As always, me and Clint, man, the duo against the world.
Hope everyone's enjoying their Wednesday.
Hump day, baby, the official day. Again, we do start.
I feel like hump day is always related to like work. What if I work on Saturday? Then it's not my hump day.
Then you have the wrong job, I'd say.
You're right.
Saturdays for football, boy. Football season's about to start. We're gonna pull up the topics we're gonna be doing. Okay.
Okay, everybody. Jay demanded, and I mean demanded, that we switch our topic plans between this week and next week.
Had some.
We planned, and we told you guys last week we were going to talk about our stages of streaming and our equipment this week. But Jay messaged me and said, "I want to switch
now."
And I said, "Okay."
I had a lot of passion in my eyes when I texted him that sentence.
Yeah, based on what you changed in the notes, if that's what you think, if that's your opinion, and that's like I haven't heard what he has to say yet. I think that we're gonna not see eye to eye on his idea.
Hey, that's good.
He made like a cliff note.
Hey. Shh.
I can tell them that.
Okay, don't say the cliff note said that.
No, it's a topic. Why would I tell them now?
Okay, sweet. But yeah, I mean, dude, I was listening, because I listen to podcasts while I drive to work, and so I was listening to some other things, and I got some ideas while I was doing it that really pertain to this topic, and I kind of want to just hit it out before, even because I'm not, actually, I should wait on that, but yeah.
Well, just so everybody does know, the topic for this week is Fortnite, and we're going to have lots of fun talks about it. I think I've got some fun questions for Jay.
Very colored past on that.
Jay doesn't exactly like Fortnite anymore.
Nope.
Jay, I used to love Fortnite, and then the game. My opinion is that his friends got better, and he wasn't the best at the game anymore, and that that's why he didn't want to play as much anymore.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. We'll save that for when we get to there. For now, how do you feel like it is to start? What do you want to start with?
I don't know. I guess you could tell him when we started.
Well,
where the games come from, where it's come from, where we think it's going.
So I guess where we started it. When I started playing it, I literally played it the night that it came out. I had it download on Xbox.
So wait, you bought the were you playing the beta version or like?
I played the first day of the battle royale, because they let you download it for free. Yeah.
The live day, because there was a beta. People don't know this.
Oh, no, wait, no, 3 days before, yeah.
You had to buy Save the World to get access to the beta, and I forget if it was 3 days. I forgot how long
it was. 3 days, yeah.
But yeah.
I played it the first night, man.
Apparently you had to buy Save the World, and I was like right there, like so close to considering buying it just because I had like Kelly and them say that they were playing it and it was fun, and I don't know. I just didn't see myself playing it enough.
Yeah, my friends all bought Fortnite because they really wanted to play a game like Fortnite, the original game purpose, which is to save the world that nobody touches on anymore. But I just game shared with them, so I got the actual Fortnite thing. So we played the night of the beta, and they had solos and squads. Mm-hmm. No, actually, no. They only had solos.
Did they?
Yeah, so you only played solos. But it got so bad because everybody wanted to play with their friends, so everybody would join in and try to stream snipe each other, right, to join on the team and then team, right? Yeah. Which is a problem in any game that doesn't have any duos or squad modes, right? It even is in some that do. Some people just like to cheat in solos, but...
Yeah, I'll say this. I think it's funny you talk about, like, teaming. I think in Fortnite, I've run into one pair of teamers, and it was in like a duos game or something. It was in something. No, I think we were just in a disc. I remember there being people I was talking to. I think I was in a solo game, and somehow these guys end up we were in Tilted, and I'm like looking at these two guys, and they're both just pushing me and building around me, and I'm
Oh
like sitting there so
yeah.
confused. And I ended up going back into the replay, and yeah, they were teaming. They were on different teams. I sent that clip to Epic. I like their reporting system. It makes it really easy.
Yeah. But like the night, but like, I mean, when everybody was playing, like everybody literally would just team, right? It got so bad that there was actually a label they put at the bottom that said, "Please do not team, you will be banned," sort of a thing.
Teaming is against the rules.
I never won any solos. I wasn't good enough for that. When the actual game came out and everybody could play it, everybody could download it for free for the first time. That night that it went live for all my friends, that's when the squads came out as well for 4. They didn't have duos yet, but they had squads.
Yeah.
And so I remember that night we were the top squads team on any console because the first night we played, we won like the first 8 games in a row because everybody was just horrible. Didn't know how to build. I mean, the only reason we ever built was for ramps to get up on top of buildings. We didn't even think of building our own buildings, right?
Yeah. The meta for that game has changed a lot.
Oh yeah,
So,
rapidly too.
yeah. Like, yeah, when I started like building, if you were even moderately good at building, you know, like you were going to be better than most people.
If you could build a wall and a ramp at the
Yeah.
same time, that's all you needed. But yeah, I mean, I started off pretty early. I don't know. I kind of was still. It was still in the PUBG sort of realm of things. So everybody was still on PUBG, and Fortnite had just barely came out, and it was really smooth, which was the biggest thing. Was like it came out, and it was flawless. There was no glitches, no bugs for the most part. It was just. It was like a AAA game made it, right? A AAA dev studio made it. It was nice.
Yeah. That was until they started adding things.
Yeah, that is.
At least they know how to add skins. Am I right? I swear, I think that Epic has a dev team of 100 people, and it's comprised of 30% game developers who actually develop mechanics, weapons, and like textures, and the like performance people, and 70% art who design and upload skins.
No, wait, you're saying 65% art, 5% save the world.
Oh, well, I just consider that a whole nother game. I bet they have a whole different dev team for that game.
I feel like there's like one person working on that, and everybody's like, "Oh, where'd it go?"
I don't know. There's a lot of gun drops and like new guns that go into that game too.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah, you played the first night. I think I played after Ninja got into it. So that was probably what, April. I probably started playing.
it was well because it took about 4 or 5 months before the game actually gained any like.
Well, the game
mainstream.
launched. The game launched in November, and then I think that like Ninja started playing around January, February.
No, it launched in June or July. Because remember, it just had its 1-year birthday.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, I don't.
That was the Battle Royale birthday, yeah. The Battle Royale only came after like 3 weeks after the actual game was released.
I just looked up an article before we started to make sure that I knew when the game launched, and it said September. Or not September.
It said November.
Like November.
Yeah, because there's a reason they had their 1-year thing. So it has been out for a year. We haven't had any reoccurring skins because of because they didn't have skins at this point in the game a year ago.
Oh, I guess September.
September?
Yeah, it says September.
That must have been when Battle Royale came out, and then the game came out in August, so they did a year birthday.
Well, it's saying season 1, which I don't think season 1 actually launched. I don't think there was a season at the beginning.
There wasn't. It just went.
Because I think September's probably when it came out of beta, like official beta.
Oh, so it probably didn't count that initial like tweaking of it. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Fortnite it's been really, really weird. Like, because I remember the biggest key to it was that it was free, and so like when Clint was like, "Well, yo, let's play it on PC," like it was easy just to hurry and go and download it, right?
Yeah.
Except for that there was an update every day.
Yeah, that's not really a thing anymore. They don't update as much anymore.
It used to be literally a gig update every day.
Yeah, it was
Like
very, very annoying. And it wouldn't auto update on my computer. I had it set to auto update. It just would not auto update.
never did. Mine actually finally did start auto updating. I noticed about a week ago,
Yeah.
which doesn't really matter now. But I kind of remember like I feel like what happened with that game is it started off season 1. It was primarily just a normal battle royale. You'd run around, shoot people, hide in bushes or whatever. And then and then season 2, I actually wouldn't say until like the end of season 2 is when building finally started.
I don't know. I still don't think that building has seriously become common until like the last 2 seasons, because it's like now every little gym wants to be ninja, and they do nothing but build.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like you get into so many build fights now. It's like almost every fight.
Oh, it is,
and
yeah.
then it's like even in season 2 and 3, it's like
I feel like once the impulse nades came out is when building started to become really prevalent.
I don't know. I think it became more prevalent. I still think it was like it was like the end of season, what are we in 5 now? The end of season 3, people started realizing, "Oh shoot, I need to learn how to build." And that's when that's what they were focused on. They weren't focused on shooting,
Never.
because let's be honest, the game's not about aim. It's all about
Never was
building.
with Bloom.
That is why it took me so long to play the game. The way the game, I can't play like my one redeeming factor on PC is my aim,
Hmm.
and that's why I was good at H1, and it's why I'm good at PUBG. But
For the most part.
I could not play a game where your shot hitting was just a random number generator that just determined whether or not you were going to hit or miss a bullet. It just isn't fun to me. Like, to sit there and say that I'm sitting still, crouched, and you still had an open bloom, and you still would sit there and not know if you were going to hit that guy. Your aimer could be right on him, and it would miss bullets just
Yeah.
because of the bloom. I hated it. It was honestly I never understood why they put it in the game. It made no sense. You know what? It's just like, why bother, like, even taking range fights unless you have a sniper?
Well, I mean, on my end of things, like, because when Fortnite started, I wasn't too good at aiming on PC. So it made me feel like I had better aim than I actually did, because I just kind of have to put this area near them and pray that a bullet hit. Kind of put me... I wonder if that's, like, the advantage that they came up with. Like, for bad players to be not, like, to not be as apparent as...
I think it was... I don't know. I really don't... I can't justify why they did it. I think that it was just to, keep the player base, you know what, wherever you get in a fight, you know what, little Timmy 2 sticks on a controller on PC can compete with Ninja, who's shooting at shoot with a mouse and keyboard and it never comes off your head.
Right.
So I think that's why they put in the game, to make it a little more fair.
Did you ever see the test they did on the aim assist in Fortnite?
No.
It literally tracks for you. It's crazy.
I mean, I've played on console, and it's just like my experience was that it was like COD, where if you aim at somebody and you're shooting at somebody, but someone else runs in front of you, your aimer pulls to that person.
Right.
And it's very blatant, like on console, and that's kind of how most aim assists are working, where like the target you're closest to, it kind of locks, slows down, and will semi-pull if they're moving.
Yeah.
So.
But Fortnite, if you had, like, when I used to play on console, like, it wasn't even fun. Like, it was fun because you were shitting on kids, but, like, literally people didn't build ever. and you had
Yeah.
all the auto aim in the world. Like it was, you could just shred people.
Dude, I don't understand. Oh, I gotta give props to console players because I don't know how they do it. Because I've played on my Xbox. I decided to play on Xbox with my brother
Uh huh.
so that it wouldn't be just so unfair because he's really not good enough to be playing
PC servers.
like yeah, he's just not that good.
Mm.
So it would literally be every game I'd just have to carry us and he'd die right away.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what, I'll jump on an Xbox and we'll play. And I just, man, I think that something's wrong with my Xbox because it just looks so bad. Like it's so blurry. Like it literally, I couldn't see people in a distance. Like in our game, on my computer, I can see people running in the distance. In that game, it's all just blur and pixelation at range, and I couldn't see us. God dang thing. And I'm like, how am I supposed to play this game if I can't see anything?
Right. Yeah.
Which I really think it's my Xbox. I think something's wrong with my Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So
To be honest, like I wanted to bring up like how it became the most popular thing, because like PUBG was obviously the king of Twitch and viewership and players at the current point at that time. And what do you think sort of pushed it over the edge to sort of make PUBG obsolete to be?
honestly, Ninja's blow up. That's like it's what got everyone's eyes on Fortnite. Like it was happening beforehand. I think people were starting to realize that, hey, there's this decent free to play game. Um, it's got
It
mechanics
performs
that
well.
help. It's got mechanics that help people that aren't as good, and it's got really good performance. And you can get it on a PC, console, or well, now it's on mobile. But it's like, and you could play with your PC friends. It's like I don't know. I think it had a lot that was going really good for it,
Mm-hmm.
especially the free and especially the cross-platform because I've been gaming for a very long time now, and I can tell you people have been wanting cross-platform games forever,
Oh yeah.
and it's other than this rarity, like I've heard so many people like ask like and see in like Twitch chats is like, oh, do you think that this game's gonna be cross-platform? No, no game other than Fortnite has the
And Rocket
balls.
League.
And well, Rocket League's cross-platform. I don't even consider it cross-platform because it's not like the same. It's not the same in the fact that like, hey, I can play with a PS4 or an
Mhm.
Xbox player on PC. It's I can play against a team of two Xbox players or a
Right.
team of two PS4 players, but that's it. I can't play with them. So it's not really. It's like okay, I can play against these people, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not really the same. Um,
I think.
yeah, I
Go
don't
ahead.
know. I just think that the cross platform and the free was the biggest draw, and then as in terms of like what blew it up, I think it was the streaming. You know what? All these streamers go turn into the game,
See, I
feeding off
think
PUBG.
I think that is true for Twitch, but I think on the reason that it's surpassed this level that it's gotten to was because of social media. Because what happened was first you got like this thing that looked pretty intriguing of Ninja doing this crazy thing, right? Like everybody wanted to be able to do this or whatever, right? But then I think the biggest videos were like college dorm rooms of people getting a 3 kill solo win and the entire dorm freaking out, right? Like
I didn't start seeing those. Like I said, I think that all stems from the popularity growth of streamers
you think
because
it's because of Ninja?
I didn't see any of those videos until after it had blown up, after it had become the the game, the games you turn on the news and you're hearing about it in the news every other day. It's like when you're hearing about a game on the mainstream media news, it's like shit, that game is huge if they
Mm,
want to talk about it. If that's gonna bring them views.
right.
So like yeah, and the reality was is they were talking about it because of Ninja again. He was the one they were talking about him. They were interviewing him. You know what to say? Like I still think that it's games blow up when the streamer side blows up. Just
Yeah.
because there's so many people that know about these streamers now, and they're so common, and it's like when they have such a pull towards a game. So like, say 30,000 people are watching like a streamer, and I'm using like 30,000 because I'm not gonna use like the ungodly number that Ninja gets. Like say like Shroud's numbers. That's 30,000 people who want to play that game.
Shroud is at 50K usually, if not 70.
And,
He's been
at
up
30.
there.
He's around 30 right now. That's 30,000 people watching the game. That's 30,000 people who like watching the game and so likely want to play the game. And so that's 30,000 people who now have access to a free game that if they, no matter what console they have, they can play it. And all they have to do is go download it. And then they can go to school or work or anywhere. Say, hey, I found this new free game. If you guys want to play, we can even play together.
Right. Like,
So
sorry, I had this thing with my roommates so when I moved in December, okay? Right before it got popular, I moved in early January, right before it got popular, because it got popular about February to April-ish.
Yeah.
So what I did is, as soon as I moved in, everybody was kind of in the gaming side starting to figure it out, but no one mainstream actually knew about it. So like my roommates, I came in, they were all playing World War II, Call of Duty. They were all big into Call of Duty, and I go, hey man, there's this there's this game called Fortnite. You guys should play it. And the first thing my roommate says, I'm paying for that shit. And my roommate from there, I go, oh yeah man, it's free. Like go try it. I download it, not thinking too much of it. My roommates kind of brush it off, right? Keep playing Call of Duty. But since I downloaded it on there, I come home and they're all just freaking out playing a solo game. And then all of a sudden I see a Snap story from one of my friends that I never thought would be a gamer. All of a sudden he's watching Ninja stream in class. Like, it was just such a fast turn. And now my roommates literally squat up in the front room every night since I moved in here. Like, they play every night with like 3 Xboxes in the front room.
And they're bad.
They're horrible.
They're not very good. I've like never, I don't know. I've always been such a competitive gamer that I've never like been able to play like a game like this. It's literally, it's not even like, hey, it's like, okay, you didn't play very well. Like in COD, I can like lose a game, but like, okay, I still played well. Even in Fortnite or like Overwatch, I can lose a game, but still know that I played well.
Right.
But like Fortnite, it's just loss. It's just like, it feels just like a loss when you drop in.
Stomach
And if you
wrench
drop
every time, man.
Even if you get like a few kills, it's like, oh look, I placed 30th. Yay.
Right.
Fun. Let's go wait in the lobby and do it. Like these battle royales, I feel like are so brutal to like my mentality of like, I want to win these games, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be better than everybody, and I'm trying to win. It is like so hard to justify so many losses.
Right, that's the thing, though. I think that's the thing about Fortnite that made it so good, is that it mastered the casual gamer.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, it's because I am a competitive guy too. I always love competitive gaming, which, I mean, there is kind of a place for it, but it's mostly for casuals. And I think that's why I kind of fell off of Fortnite, is because it's a casual game. Like, the esports, I don't think will work out. We've seen it in the summer skirmishes, but
I think the esports is going to be an absolute failure.
oh, it's going to be look at PUBG, look at H1. They all fail. There's a reason why they all fail.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that CS:GO, even though it may not be the top viewed game on Twitch, is one of the top viewed esports in the world, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you kind of have to split Fortnite when you're talking about it into Twitch and mainstream, right? Because like
I just think that you're not giving a big enough link to the like Twitch is the mainstream. Like Twitch leads to the mainstream players. Like, and they're just the people like the people from my work. Even like I had a couple people that I worked with that like had Fortnite. And I asked we talked about how they found Fortnite, and yeah, they'd see on their Facebook feed of like Ninja doing something really cool, or Myth doing something really cool. It's like and this all comes from Twitch. Like even the smaller like clips, like these clips of like nobodies, they're
Uh-huh.
coming from Twitch or Mixer, some streaming site, which is leading people to see them on social media, which is leading to now these stories in the news.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I think that it gives this massive amount of advertisement in your social media feed that is just uncomparable to anywhere else.
Yeah. But like Fortnite though, like, cause PUBG and H1 were popular games, okay? But Fortnite, as we know, has blown everything out of the water, right? It's made
Yeah.
Twitch a almost borderline household name, I'd almost say.
No, no, no. Amazon did that.
Amazon did that, you think?
Amazon did that. It didn't matter. Fortnite didn't have to be there for Twitch to be mainstream. I think that, yeah, that the Ninja news stories was like cool, and it
Mhm.
kind of regularized the story. But it would, if it wouldn't have been Fortnite, it would have been something, because Amazon Prime, Amazon taking over Twitch was made Twitch 3 times bigger overnight.
It's
You know
true.
what? They immediately within 2 months of ownership launched the affiliate program, which gave every streamer the incentive to stream.
True.
So every streamer that is relatively serious and can get 50 followers can get affiliated and earn bits and subs. So to say that that's a thing, I think that Amazon's purchase was the blow up of Twitch.
Before
Not-
we, yeah.
Not Fortnite so much.
Before we do go back to the Ninja thing, I do want to say something about affiliate. I do wish the affiliate was a lot harder to get. Like, I wish
don't
it was like
wish it was-
1,000 followers and like 10 viewers.
I don't. I used to, just because, like, I used to feel really bad seeing these partnered streamers basically lose the one thing that they had: subs and revenue making. And yeah, they have like ads and more emotes and stuff, but like the sub subscription was everything for them. It was the big ticket item.
That's
Is the,
true.
hey, your people can now give you support monthly with a $5 subscription.
Or for free if they have Amazon Prime. Like,
Yeah, well, that's new. But like,
yeah, I feel like it makes affiliate like if I say I'm an affiliated streamer, what does that really mean?
yeah, I mean,
It really
do
means
think that, I don't think that affiliate really means much, but in the sense, it really does, because if you're not affiliated, you're not really serious
right.
about streaming. So I don't
But-
know. I used to have that same mentality of, I wish it was a lot harder, just because it's so easy. It's so easy to get 50 followers.
Pretty much anyone can get it, pretty much.
Yeah, like even if they made it like 200 followers, I think that would be better, because like you actually have to
Work.
like be
Grind.
serious and like do some work to get 200 followers and stay on the site long enough to do 200 followers. But I could probably go do a follow for follow site, and you can have a phone up and like a browser up, and that's 2 of your 3 viewers there. So
It's true.
I think that the affiliate is too easy, which I think was their idea. I think that their idea was, we don't want it free, but we want it really easy, so that anybody that really wants to be on our site and make money on our site can do it. Because I just think that they really want to like knock the YouTube space out. And while it's a completely different platform, I think that this is like a huge draw to live streaming and like live streaming content.
Are we gonna have a
Because-
voice crack counter?
Oh yeah, it's been a rough day.
Anyway, sorry.
So I don't
Yeah.
know.
There's actually an interesting question in chat. It says, how do you guys feel about how battle royale games are taking over?
I love them. I love the battle royale genre.
Ooh, that's good. We disagree. Because I actually hate it. I think is it working out? I think it's unsatisfying. Because I mean, I guess this comes from where we come from as a competitive gamer, is it's a one, it's either your first or nothing, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it's really luck based. It's every game that so far has been luck based. Like it's not.
I do not agree with that at all. I think that you are dead wrong.
I get a white AR and you get a gold scar. You're 9 times out of 10 gonna probably beat me.
I just think it depends. I think that, you know what, like even now the way Fortnite has evolved, like Fortnite, like since we're talking about Fortnite has evolved so much that, like, to sit there and say, oh, you get a gold scar, I get a white AR, I can probably beat most people with a white AR. All I like, because if you're smart, you're not just picking up the white AR. You're gonna break down a wall, do something, give yourself some materials. So if this
But that's still
guy
luck
with the
based.
scar, it's not though. If you find any gun, if I have materials, I can build between me and you, and I can then get a better position on you.
But
And
let's say
you don't even need a lot of materials. You need to break down 1-2 walls, which you normally have time for, like before your first fight. So
let's
I don't know. I think that it's how creative are you on the game, like, and how creative can you be about putting yourself in a better position with a worse gun. Because I've beaten plenty of people with like a pistol when they have a shotgun, and I should never win that fight.
right.
But
I mean that there is skill, but what I'm saying is, even at the end of the day, you getting that pistol and him getting the shotgun is luck. It is like it's a luck based system. Like it's not like you're not guaranteed to drop down to tilted and get a pump shotgun. He may get it and you may get nothing.
Yeah, but that's also like that's up to you to sit there and realize that that's the way the game works. You can't blame the game for RNG when you know it's RNG and you're choosing to drop tilted everywhere. Anyway, if you're gonna sit there and blame RNG every game, you shouldn't drop to these heavily places. Go do what we do. Go hotel or go anarchy where there's almost no one there. There's one team to fight, 2 teams to fight. Like to sit there and say like you can lower your risk of running into that RNG moment. And it's like, and now the way they've upgraded the game, the way they've added like first shot accuracy and that kind of stuff, they've made the game so much more competitive between like rifles and other guns. Like it's not like it used to be where there was if you had a gold scar, you won. There was like before first shot accuracy, if you had a scar, you were gonna win every gunfight because you were gonna hit more shots because the bloom was so much smaller, and it was basically you could actually aim.
Yeah.
When I enabled white AR, I couldn't hit those shots because my bloom circle was just so much bigger.
That's true. They've made it way better.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I think that it's that game in particular has evolved past just blaming RNG. Like I don't get many moments when I just feel like I just get dicked by a random number generator in like a weapon spawn. It happens, like, you know what, but that's just the way the game's gonna work.
Yeah, that's just why I don't like battle royale games personally. But
yeah. I don't know. I think that while there is an epic amount of feeling of loss, I do think that that moment of win is the most exciting in in a game.
The first one, yeah. It is one of the greatest.
I think that well, I guess if you're winning as many as like Ninja, it's like even most people that like have only won 10 games.
Everybody in the club get tipsy.
You know what? Every one of those 10 wins is crazy. And like when I was playing H1, and I think this had to do with the rank system. When you win games of H1, it was nuts. It was nuts to be winning games of H1.
That's true.
Just because you were, I think that also had to do with the fact that you were working towards a rank. Like when I was working towards royalty, it's like, wow, that win, that's 10 kills, that's a win. That's another win on the list to get me to royalty. Like,
that's true. That's true.
I don't know. I definitely feel like the excitement for wins is higher than any game that I play, which is why I like the game so much.
Higher highs, lower lows, though. I mean, nothing's more frustrating than dropping 10 times in a row and insta-dying. There's nothing more frustrating.
Especially with the load-in times.
It takes, I mean, it's literally 3.5 to 4 minutes between every game.
Yeah.
Between backing out to the lobby, getting readied up, getting into a server, dropping through the battle bus, then even landing. I don't count just floating in the air as part of the game, right?
Yeah, I wish that Fortnite would change their land mechanic too. I've never liked the fact that you just float in the air and you open your parachute and you're just stuck floating there and you can't dive forward faster. Like,
Yeah.
it's really annoying.
It is
I
true.
do think that it's pretty balanced in like the times that it takes most people to get to the ground, which is nice. Like when I played a game of PUBG earlier to test the new update,
Uh-huh.
and it's just like it's I got beaten to the ground so much faster by some guys because they knew when to jump, and I haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
So there is that bonus of what you get to the ground relatively at the same time no matter what.
It is
Right.
true.
I still don't like it. I still don't like how slow you get to the ground.
Um I don't know. Fortnite though, like there's a reason like Fortnite as opposed to H1 and PUBG has blown up to the point it is. I mean, we went over the cross-platform and the free to play, but I think one of the bigger things that has kept Fortnite the way it is like how they've been able to put so much back into the game, into development, because of the skins. Because skins have become a thing where like almost everyone has a skin.
Yeah.
Like me and you probably have both spent more money than a $60 game. Like this game has spent more.
I literally at one point put $100 on a game.
Like I've probably put about $100 on this game. Like this game is, like it's a free to play game, but there's like I don't know one person that plays the game that hasn't spent money on at least one skin or the battle pass, right?
Yeah. I mean, there are people, but they're very, very rare and few and far between.
Oh yeah, they are
Um,
few and far between.
I don't know. I just think that I don't know. I think that it's just kind of you say they put a lot back into it, but in my opinion, they're putting a lot back into their cosmetic section and a lot less into game development because
Sure.
they have these issues and these balancing problems that still go weeks before they're dealt with and even
Yeah.
talked about. Like it's just so annoying to sit there and say that you have C4 that no matter what you do, all you have to do is throw C4 and no matter like their building is gone. It's just all gone.
Yeah.
Which it took them over a month to nerf and now it's back to a place where you know what? They can't just chuck one C4 and blow up your whole build.
Blow up
They
everything.
they actually have to like aim where they're throwing them and throw more than one if it's a pretty big build. So
Right.
I don't know. I think that they're one of the better games, but I don't think that they're the best in terms of like putting back out content. Because look at how many times they've had to remove the ATKs twice already. They just had to remove them.
Just because they couldn't handle them, yeah.
Yeah, they keep finding bugs with them. It's like okay, which I think that comes down to another topic of why in God's name do they not have a test server? Why don't you launch things on a test server instead of just rolling things out every 2 weeks and like adding new content
And just
every
praying
2
it
weeks?
works.
Like seriously, like how can you sit there and think that an in-dev like 30-person game test, even if you have 100 people at the company that you can get a 100-person test, how
Mhm.
can you sit there and say that that's an accurate test when you have to sit there and also consider different server connections, locations, people's connection to the game, and like the way the game interacts when you have a 200 ping? Like it's not that like test servers are so useful for fixing bugs,
Mhm.
and like they're understood that this is where you're gonna run into the bugs. It
Right.
shouldn't be that I go into Fortnite and you just have this ridiculous bug of whatever build bug Tifu's found or weapon glitch. Or
Tifu always seems to find them.
double pump like exploit. It's like it shouldn't have to be a problem as big as it is, and then you have to go a month before it's even dealt with, or they just pull whatever it is out of the game.
Right.
It's like I don't know. I think that they seriously need to consider doing a test server because it's just like you've removed ATKs twice and people were really upset this time because there was an ATK challenge. You had to jump through hoops or something. So it's
Really?
like yeah, there's like jump an ATK through these hoops. Um and they removed ATKs so people couldn't do them and they'd have like one or two left to do. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's all these building. I see lots of building bugs. It's amazing how many times now I watch people fall through their own builds. Like
Oh, it happens all the
place
time.
they place a ramp and they just phase through it. It's like, what do you mean? How can the building get worse?
Well, they made a new system, a new predictive thing that has made it so much worse. Because you see so much now of people getting ramps instead of it being right in front of them, just right on top of their head, all the
Yeah.
time, all the time. I just
Um, I don't
Fortnite's gonna be
know.
the death of itself.
I think that it's already fall. I personally normally am falling in and out of games when they're falling in and out of themselves. Because more than likely there's other games that are going to come around and I think that like Fortnite's still on the top of it, but I think that unfortunately as we see more and more of these streamers go competitive scene, I think that it's going to be the death of the game. I think that nobody's going to want to watch. Like Ninja was talking about I was going to scrim today. I turned the stream off. I don't want to watch them scrim. Do you know what these scrims look like?
Sweaty sitting one by ones and
Build yourself into a one by one and then move into the zone in a one by one. You land on the outskirts, you loot up, you find some guns, and you literally sit in a one by one and build yourself into the zone.
it's why no
And then
battle
30
royales are popular.
No, I think that it's the build mechanic, and I knew that when I saw the way the build mechanic worked. It was just going to be a bunch of. I predicted it was going to be a bunch of people in a one by one tower, just sitting there looking around, trying to snipe battle. But no, it's literally worse than that, where there will be people on top of each other's one by ones, just moving into zone, waiting for the very last minute in the very last circle to break a stuff open and try to be the last team alive.
It's true.
It's
It's
such a
boring. There's a reason Fortnite
it's-
skirmishes have been just tanking.
it sucks to watch the way that these pro scenes are gonna be. It's so boring, and it's like that's the reason the skirmishes have been different formats every week, because to sit there and watch Tifu and Cloak win a game after sitting in a one by one, and you jump out of it at the end and you get shot out of it at the end, you just drop down on this team that's in the zone. It's like it's so boring, and it's gonna like it's just gonna everyone on Twitch isn't gonna want to watch that, which means they're not gonna want to play because they're gonna sit there and think that watch people start imitating that play style. It would drive me nuts.
It,
Bring back Crazy C4 if that was a thing.
well, the thing with Fortnite is I feel like it's starting to come into an internal conflict that is gonna kill the game, and because the double pump meta, everybody thought the double pump was ruining the game. But what happened, I feel I enjoyed the double pump meta way more than anything that's going on right now. The SMG meta sucks, and it's made me not want to play this game anymore.
I don't know.
'Cause if I get
I think the SMG meta is worse now that they nerfed building. Like, why would you introduce a 50 bullet fucking minigun, shoots faster than a minigun, can break down a wall faster than a minigun, weapon, and nerf walls and any material at the same time?
Why did they add in 3 SMGs in a row?
Because they wanted SMGs. They wanted the TAC SMG replaced, so they pulled it and put the new one in.
Which is
And
worse
then-
than the old one.
I don't know. I think that in ways it's better. I think it actually ends up putting out more like DPS.
Oh no, I mean like
But
it's
it's-
worse like as a problem, like because the purple SMG used to
Uh,
melt. I think it's worse.
I don't think it's worse. I think that I could get more kills with the tag, with aiming at somebody's face. But
Right.
I think that the like just spam problem is worse with the new one.
You literally just
because
sit there
I
and build a
would-
bunch of walls and just pray that you don't get shot through it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just like anything where I think that they're gonna update the game into the ground, and I've kind of been saying that I've said that on stream before, where I think that their updates are going to be their death, like the death of them, because they're going to keep pushing this content that isn't ready, and then eventually they're going to hit a point where they just can't do it anymore. You know what? They have to change something, and something has to be like majorly adjusted, and they're just gonna have to stop all production and fix the major problems.
It's kind of funny because H1Z1 it updated itself into the ground. Then PUBG lack of updated itself into the ground. It just killed itself just by not putting out any content until it's
I
too
don't know.
late.
I think that people want. I think people are too needy for content. If I'm being honest, I don't think that a game should be determined on whether or not you get a new map every 2 months or a new gun every 2 weeks. It's like to sit there and say that if PUBG could have fixed its like server problems and fixed some of its frame rate problems and fixed some of its desync problems earlier on, which is what they're doing now. They have a whole like plan to deal with that in the next 2 or 3 months.
Too late.
If they had, I don't think it's too late. I think that PUBG is still a huge game. So, like, if they dealt with that first, instead of people crying about, I mean, I was guilty of this. You know what? I get, it's like annoying when you add like 2 or 3 guns in the first 3 months and then don't add anything. It's like, yeah, you're not keeping pace with what you basically seem like you're promising your viewers and your players.
Like, why not space out the one gun a couple weeks instead of 3 guns all at once and then nothing?
I don't know. Well, PUBG never did that. Fortnite does that. Fortnite just throws guns at you every other Tuesday.
It's true.
Like, shit, man. We just got the new SMG less than a month ago, and now we have a new shotgun.
We got the drum gun, and then we got the TAC, and then we got the P90. And I don't know, man. I hate the new meta because the new meta kind of plays to don't be good at building, just spam down walls. Literally, which kills competitive. It keeps the casual more fun because then casuals don't have to deal with build battles, right?
Yeah.
But the competitive scene, the media coverage of it, I feel like is what is keeping the game alive. So I feel like they're killing themselves doing that.
I think that these streamers need to demand that the skirmishes go to a more fun format and not like it was more a fun format like week 2 when they did the 10 solo
Games for it.
10 solo games. That was fun. And then they changed it to like a duo version of that, I guess, kind of in week 3. But then like last week, week 4 was like this hosted game where they had Courage like commentate, and it was like a tournament set up again where you have like the FaZe boys sitting in a 1x1 and they dropped on the last team to win one of the games. Like, it's just, I don't know.
I think it's boring.
Going like they started with that format, they moved away from it because the servers couldn't handle it. Now the servers are getting better, and they're trying to move back to that format, and it's just not fun. I think that it's going to be the death of, at least on Twitch for sure. I think that the competitive scene and the fact that it feels like Ninja and all these other players are moving to like basically playing with teams, like they're playing full competitive mode. Like, and it's not fun. Like, bring back the Friday Fortnite Showdown. Please.
Epic's been cock blocking that so hard.
Please bring it back because it was so much more fun to watch. So much more fun.
Oh yeah.
It's not even close. It was the most fun of all of them, and I hated it. And I hate that that's the way that like GBs and stuff are still run. But it's like it's still the most fun.
There's a reason it's more successful.
Yeah, and it's just. It sucks to sit there and watch, like, because you have to beat the other team in kills. It's like, if I was Epic, and I don't think that they would ever do this, because I think that, you know what, it would be a weird way to do a game mode. I think that they could have also, if Epic would have been nice, they would have said, instead of us running our own competitive, let's do it the way it is now, with the Friday Fortnite Showdown. But instead, do a different point scale and do almost like Summit's version of challenges.
I'm not familiar.
Summit and I think was he doing with a Miniker?
Josh OG.
No, I think him and Miniker were doing them. They basically were Q sniping each other, and then they had a point system for how many kills you got, how far you placed, if you placed better than the other team, if
You killed
like,
the other team.
if you killed each other, you got a certain amount of points. It was like a bunch of criteria for getting points, and then after a number of games, whoever had the most points won. And it was fun to watch because it's just like, okay, it's a different format, and
Hard to
I
set
think that-
up.
not really, because I think that Epic could have sat there and designed a queue, like, because any game can change the way you queue, and they could have designed a queue where you can queue with 4 people, or do something like queue with like, maybe it's like do groups of 10 or groups of 5 or something where you can queue in a group, but you're queued together with a duo in a group of 4 into a game. So you don't know where each other go. You're in the same game. You're on different teams, but you're guaranteed to be in the same game.
That would breed. It would. You would have to do it for only events, because it would be a teamer's paradise.
Well, that's what I mean. You could. Well, I think like what like they could run like a private queue server, like a queue option for these players. Like give them a specific option to queue that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because even I don't know. I think that it's just like anything. You say people are abuse it, but it's like I can just report you. It's very blatant when you're teaming.
Right.
It's like, you know what? You can go into the report system and stop these people from queuing. It's like, but no, I think that would be, if they could design a system for these players that are gonna do this to do that. I think that would be a fun thing to watch. But I think that watching, I'm guessing it's just like PUBG, where they're probably queuing with what, 60 people, not even a full 100 lobby. Congratulations! I get to watch 60 people hide for the entire map, and one by one until half of them are alive, with 30 in the last 2 circles.
It
Yay!
sucks,
Super
yeah.
fun. I
It's
get to watch a
intense
bunch
the
of
last 3
commentators.
minutes.
Oh yeah, I get to watch. It's just like why PUBG was boring, because the mid game is so boring, so stupidly boring. Nobody wants to watch the mid game.
Who
But
won
at
the
least-
PUBG tournament last time? Remember that PUBG tournament, the big one that they did?
I don't know. They did like this
How the
streamer
guy
one.
won with like healing in zone?
Oh, that was the first one. That was the very first one. That never. that first tournament was like, their point system was so heavily based on like placement, and the zone was so weak that early in the game, that the guy literally, he won one game. He got first place one time. In the one game, he got stuck in a glitch. He got stuck in a glitch spot that he couldn't get out of. It was like it was like on a rock. He got stuck there, and he had a bunch of bandages, and he just bandaged, and he ended up placing like top 15, which gave him enough points between that and then doing that again, like where he placed high because he was just bandaging and medding in zone. He ended up placing and winning the tournament with like a total of like 5 kills.
And everybody was sitting there and said it was one of the worst tournaments of all time. Like, it was horrible.
Well, it was horribly run too. That was. If any of you are confused, we are talking about PUBG, but like, that was a horrible tournament. They couldn't get good commentators. They couldn't keep up with people who they needed to commentate on. The spectation system was still garbage. It just, nothing about the game was ready. Nothing about the competitive scene was ready, and they just forced it in.
Mm-hmm.
Because as of right now, they're trying to find the next big competitive game.
Right.
Because they just don't have it. We've got the classics. We've got Dota. We've got CS:GO. There's
League.
still a COD scene. There's still a League. Well, I consider Dota and League scene.
Okay.
Same
Halo,
bullshit.
kind of.
There's still a Halo Pro scene. It's not very big, but it's still there. But it's like people are looking for what's gonna replace and be the next, like, FPS, like, competitive scene. Is it gonna be a battle royale if they can find a good competitive scene to work it? Who knows?
I
But
don't
it's-
see. I don't think it ever could. I don't even think a battle royale could be the top competitive game.
I think that it can. I think that it's boring. It's not as fun to watch But like to sit there and say that it's not exciting to watch these people fight like in PUBG, like
Mm-hmm.
the like when the engagements are there, they're very fun. But like it's just not an all-time action game.
Yeah.
Which to be fair, neither is like Dota, neither is League. There's a bunch of mid-game farming and a bunch of like slow progression until there's these team fights, and then there's progression, and then there's waiting, and then there's poke battles, and then there's another team fight, and then there's progression. And I don't know. I think that it's faster paced on a game like League, but it's the same kind of idea where the mid game is.
See, that's
This
why
is
I think
like-
Call of Duty is the most intense, like, battle or not battle royale, most intense esport.
And yet it's still dying. People still don't want to watch it.
I think that has more to do with the game dev studios than anything. We can save
I
that
just-
for another time though, because Call of Duty is a whole nother mess.
I mean, I don't know. We never really talked about Ninja. We've been talking about the esports scene.
We can talk about Ninja. I was actually gonna get into Ninja when we got into the fall of Fortnite.
Sure, I'll wait. I want to see how you're gonna link that.
Link these two things, okay? Wait, before we do that, I want to start off. When do you think Fortnite's not going to be the top viewed, consistently not the top viewed game on Twitch?
Whenever we get something new that's good. What it'll be, I don't know.
Months.
I can't tell you because the games coming up aren't really viewer games. Like Fallout is going to be a huge game.
Right, always is, but
I
not
think
viewer.
I think that it'll be played by some of the bigger streamers for 2 weeks. So, and then what else is coming up? Red Dead Redemption 2 is also going to be a story game. So it's going to be played for 2 weeks when they go through the story. What else is really coming out? The new COD.
That's
Yay.
what I wanted to go for.
More COD. Congrats. You get more Call of Duty. Halo's not for a year and a half.
Call of Duty
Uh,
takes it over, in my opinion.
I think you're way wrong. I just think you're dead. You're dead wrong. You
Okay,
haven't even played the beta.
my opinion, why Call of Duty... Actually, well, it's very contingent on one thing, and that is the Blackout mode. So the reason I think Black Ops 4 does end up taking over, depending, is if the Battle Royale ends up being what everybody wants. I was watching a video today about with Shroud watching all of that and just seeing how excited he was for it. I think we need to look at this in like the player base and Twitch, which Twitch does influence the player base, but you do have to get one before the other, right?
I think that the player base for COD is just going to be way smaller no matter what you do. They can't compete with a free-to-play game. There's just no way to. There's no way that you're going to convince enough people to drop Fortnite that they're playing for free and they're having fun for free to go buy a $60 game. I just don't think it's there. I think that the game is going to have to be really good and really new to kick Fortnite off the top viewership for more than like a month.
I
think that
look
it's
at the
gonna-
streamers that come out is what I look at.
I don't know. I think that it's going to be that there's going to be a couple games that knock it out for a little while because they're just shorter games. Like I'm really looking forward to seeing Red Dead Redemption 2 played, Fallout 76 played. But otherwise there's not
Kind of like
even,
God of War did for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not even like I can't even think of any other big games that are coming out. Spider-Man's coming out, but I don't think that'll be very big. What else is coming? List.
Dying Light 2.
Oh, that's coming out, but I still don't think that's going to be that big a game.
It never is, but it's a really good game.
Yeah.
But the reason I think Call of Duty, so Call of Duty year in year out is usually the top selling game always is. even if they have a bad year, it's always like whether or not the competitive scene is dead. It's always the top selling game, year in year out. You can't beat them with that. But where I look at where it finally makes the change is streamers, okay? Because right now, Ninja, Myth, and Tfue are keeping Fortnite where it is, I believe, on Twitch at least. And Tim the Tatman kind of, and Lupo kind of, but I kind of group them in with Ninja, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when Call of Duty comes out, okay? I look at the streamers that are huge that are going to play it, okay? Number one, Dr. Disrespect, okay? He pulls what, 20k viewers? 30k viewers?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know what he's pulling now. I haven't been watching him.
Okay, he goes to Call of Duty, I believe, okay? Another one you get to Call of Duty is Nick Mercs. He goes back to Call of Duty because that's his roots, right?
I don't know. If COD's bad, I think he doesn't go back.
Could be.
I think that the entire gaming community just sits on the edge of their seat to see if COD is decent at this point.
And if it is,
I don't think that anyone expects it to be good. It's just another COD. Even a battle royale mode. Like, I'm curious to see the beta and see what their take on it is. But like, what's special about it? It's gonna be COD, but a battle royale. And if it's like the beta, if you have like access to the specialists and stuff, some of those abilities, it's gonna be the most broken thing in the game. Which I think that it's not going to be. I think that it's almost gonna be like a COD, like an old school COD run around pick up guns game mode.
could be.
Where you spawn in and you pick up guns that are sitting or floating, and you're gonna try to survive and be the last.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be a huge contingency, okay? Let's say the blackout mode for Black Ops 4 is successful, okay? They do it right, everybody loves it, okay? All of a sudden, you have big streamers, Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, Nick Mercs, Courage JD, you have all these streamers all of a sudden playing this game, getting back into
Courage
it.
doesn't go back to COD, 100%.
I think Courage goes back to COD.
I think it'll kill his channel. I think he's smarter than that. I think that Courage stays on whatever the big game is. If he's smart.
So if Call of Duty
Fortnite
does
stays
become
up
good,
there, if Ninja keeps playing Fortnite, it's Fortnite. That's what he's gonna stay on. I think that, you know what, to sit there and think that he's gonna risk losing his crazy viewership now to go back to COD, who now these viewers aren't COD people. I don't think so.
Ooh. Do you say the same thing with Nick Mercs?
I think Nick Mercs is limited because I don't think the next big game is going to be a console game. So I think that he's probably going to be stuck going.
But Nick Mercs, he's a competitive guy. He's always playing in tournaments. Like that's why I think Call of Duty.
That's only. I don't think that the tournament scene, like the streamer competitive scene on COD has been nothing ever. It's never been that big. It's never been huge. It's always been It's never been huge. When's the last time that COD has been anywhere near the top of Twitch's list?
Black Ops 3.
When? Show me. It wasn't at the top of the list when I was in it.
Dude, back whenever there was the UMG tournaments, the Teddy Rex would pull like 20, 30k viewers. He would be
I don't think they ever pulled those numbers.
I remember that. I may be wrong.
I remember tuning into Teddy's streaming scene like 2000. Never 20. I think they'd get thousands of viewers, not tens of thousands of viewers.
Well, here's the other thing too, is Fortnite the abnormality of Twitch? Do viewer numbers go back to normal, or does the mainstream scene stay with what we've been on the past couple of years, transferring to a new game, or does it stick with Fortnite?
I think they transfer to a new game with Ninja. I think that most of these viewers that Ninja has pulled are now there for Ninja. Because I'll give Ninja this. He is a, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Influencer. Mass influencer. I don't know.
Influencer. he's he's not a character, but he's a personality. That's what I want. He's a personality in that he's enjoyable to watch, and he's now very friendly to watch, no matter what he plays.
I think the best way
And I
to
think that
describe him
that's
is a
very blatant
household
when he
name.
goes. I guess, yeah. I think that it's very blatant when he goes and still plays PUBG, and he doesn't pull 110,000, but he's still pulling 80,000. So it's like, yeah, he's pulling 80% of his viewers base when he switches to a game that you'd think 80% of his viewer base doesn't want to watch, but they come back anyway. So
As soon as he
him.
leaves Fortnite, Fortnite's dead, in my opinion. As soon as he leaves Fortnite.
I think so. I think that the second he finds a game that he thinks is better, you know what, the game is gone.
Do you think Call of Duty is that?
He won't move to COD. I guarantee it. I
Why?
guarantee there's no way. I've never seen Ninja play a COD game. He's always been Halo, and then he moved to PC, and he's always been something on PC.
Well, you've seen what Black Ops 4 is doing with PC, right? They've specially developed for PC, so that way PC players are another thought, and so it's
Yeah,
more better for it. It's BattleNet, right?
I don't know. I think that they've always released COD on PC. It's just COD on PC. You know what? It runs better. It's pretty much all. It runs better a little bit, but it doesn't change the game.
Well, it runs 4K, and they did some stuff that they're not capping frame rates.
They've never capped frame rates though on PC.
They said they did.
I run Black Ops 3, which is a 4-year-old game, at 1080p at 200 frames a second on my PC.
But does it cap you at 200?
No, it's just that's what my computer hits. So you know what? If it was gonna cap anywhere, it was gonna cap it. It's gonna be like PUBG capped me before this last update. PUBG capped me at 144. Most Steam games max is 144 hertz.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I was just watching Courage playing the Black Ops 4 beta and just falling back in love with it, for lack of a better sentence.
I think he's gonna like it, but I think that if the viewership's not there, he's not gonna stay. Him in particular, because
He is very yeah. You're not wrong.
I think that his growth has been big enough that, you know what, his viewers are gonna are there for him, yes, but they're also there for him to be playing not COD, because most of these viewers aren't like COD people. I don't think they are. I think that the younger kids that watch some of these streamers, they don't give a shit about COD. It's not like when we grew up where COD was the game. COD's not the game anymore. It hasn't been the game in over 2 years.
Well, sales-wise, it always
is.
is.
It's been like a disappointment for 2 years.
On the streaming side of things, yeah.
No, just in general. Tell me
no.
the player base. I played with plenty of casual players that hated World War II, that hated Modern Warfare Remastered because they changed it, that hated Infinite Warfare. Casual players.
I'm looking this up because I think I may be right in this. Let's come on. Top game sales 2018.
Yes, but sales doesn't retain player base.
Right, but sales is a driving force for any studio.
Yes, I understand that, but you could sell 1 million copies of a game, but if nobody's playing the game, congratulations, you sold 1 million copies of a game everyone hates.
But they do it every year.
Welcome to COD. Good for them. They're making billions of dollars selling a game that everybody hates.
Sure, I think this year changed it.
We still buy the game. We all still buy the game. We're all dumb.
It's true.
We're all stupid.
I mean, World War II is 7th this year.
I bought World War II 6 months out. I was that excited for it. Hated the game. Never played it.
See,
and
I always
think that a lot
that.
of people didn't like the game, didn't play it. So why,
Has the Black Ops ever disappointed you?
I
never have.
Black Ops 3. I think that a lot of people didn't like it. I think that a lot of people were I think that a lot of people early Black Ops 3 were just like, oh, more advanced movement, boo. But I think that I still think that Black Ops 3 movement system was the best advanced movement system the game ever saw.
It was, and it's now kind of idolized of all the advanced movement games.
Yeah, I think that Infinite Warfare had pretty much the same, but Infinite Warfare was set so far in the future that it was like everyone always jokes about, oh, eventually COD was going to be laser guns. It literally became laser guns. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Woo, laser guns.
See, I think Black Ops 4 is going to hit that perfect, like, what everybody wants. Because it's set in between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. It's boots on the ground. It has some different varying gameplay, so it's not just boring. It's still guns up going, you know? And it's going to have a battle royale made by one of the best fluid combat systems in the world. Like, if it's made right, I think it takes over.
I just don't know what the battle royale in COD is going to offer that no other battle royale. Three battle royales that have been the top face of Twitch and some of the most played games in the last year and a half, 2 years. What it's going to offer that, you know what, those games don't do better.
Shroud made an interesting point. He was like, do you know what I'm sick of? He said, I'm sick of all these games literally just trying to balance everything. I want COD to just have all this broken shit that just makes it fun as can be. God. Just making it just RCX, because they showed an RCXD in there. They should. If I died to an RCXD, that would be frustrating. Like, I think, imagine if they made Blackout free. If they made it free, it would be by far the most popular game. They won't. No chance. But if they did, like, that's what I'm saying is, like, if they did something like that, that tells me that the game has enough potential too.
See, I have this major fear for COD because I know the last 4 CODs have been, hey, here's a base game, here's a base content. 3 months in, here's a new map. Okay, we expected that. But here's loot crate, new weapons that are better than your weapons, but you have no way to actually buy them. You just have to keep rolling RNG until you get one, and then you can use it to beat every other loser in the fucking public lobbies. That's what every COD has been. They ruined Modern Warfare Remastered because they did that same bullshit. If the devs out there who did Modern Warfare Remastered ever watch this,
no
I
chance.
want you to know I fucking hate you. You took my favorite game and tore it to pieces by adding new guns. You know what? Add camos. I don't care. Didn't change the way the game played. Add reticles. Didn't change the way the game played. But you changed. You added fucking guns. We knew you were going to do it. You ruined Modern Warfare for me. Congratulations. Fucking childhood memories torn to shreds because you decided you wanted to try to make it a new game. When it wasn't a new game. It was supposed to be an old game on a new console that ran better. Fuck you.
Anyways, I've never been disappointed by a Black Ops game ever. Black Ops 1 was one of my favorite childhood games, next to Halo 3. Black Ops 2 is known as one of the best games of all time. Black Ops 3 was the best advanced movement. And Black Ops 4 literally is like Call of Duty saying, save us, please, please, just save us. It's literally what Activision is doing. Vonderhaar, we know you can do it right, just save us, please.
Is Vonderhaar even part of this game? I thought
Did you not see what he did as soon as he announced the Battle Royale?
No, I thought that I don't know. I have not kept up with any Call of Duty news. I just thought that in Black Ops 3 he tweeted out sometime, he's like, I'm done with COD after this game or something like that.
No, dude, when he was announcing the blackout before anything goes off, he looks to the audience, puts up his hands and goes, "This is blackout!" And then the whole energy just it was one of the most legendary moments ever. Just and then everything cuts dark and it plays it and everybody's just going crazy. It was good. It was really good. I think Blackout, if done right, combined with a multiplayer, could save Call of Duty. Because it literally has everything you ask for. Call of Duty multiplayer, Call of Duty Zombies, and what's the trend now. So even if the battle royale falls off, you've still got a base of COD that everybody loves.
Man, I hope that the like I'm so here's my fear, because everybody has hopes that it's gonna be really good. Battle royales have only been a thing for like a year and a half, really. Like that's what realistically people have been crying for battle royales since Fortnite. Like that was like the biggest like, hey, this is what the entire community now wants.
Right.
But like even in the like PUBG, like people on console were itching for it. Like, hey, we really want a BR game.
Right.
But that being said, they couldn't get one, and I think the COD was like, hey, this is our chance. But now they got beaten to the punch, which we knew that was going to happen because they always have a November set date. But like, my fear is that
No, they're October this year.
They developed a whole game, and they got to 9 months out, and all of a sudden, 9 months out, they realized we need to make a battle royale version. Which at that point, I guess they have all the tools to do it. But it's like, okay, you now have 9 months to make a battle royale that people really like when you've had 3 years to develop the entire game.
What do you think Fortnite did?
I think that Fortnite just had a better basis. I think that Fortnite's base game, Just Survive, if you've ever played it, had every single piece that a battle royale needed.
Oh,
It had
yeah.
a storm. It had a timer. It had guns. It had characters. It had a drop. It didn't have a drop-in method, but it's like, okay, they have to design a map in a drop-in method.
Call of Duty is the same thing.
But it's like I don't know. I just think that COD. If you're telling me it's just going to be COD where I have to survive and be the last one alive, I don't think it's going to be very fun.
If it isn't fast paced, then it's not going to be very fun. It needs to
I
keep
just
the
think-
Call of Duty fast paced of it.
I just think that it's going to have to be like every other. Like the one thing I like about BRs, and I always enjoy about BRs, is that you can start with very little and upgrade as you get kills. And I'm just concerned that I'm not sure how COD is going to implement something like that, because that has been a staple of every BR game where I come in with nothing and I find stuff and I come out with a lot and I get into a sick fights at the end with a lot of stuff.
Do you
But
want to?
unfortunately, COD has always been class based and like you spawn in with everything you need. So I don't know. I have my doubts. I'm looking forward to the beta, which I think is in
September.
September. So I'm looking forward to it, but my hopes are like, meh. We'll see. What I'm really curious to see is if they give you DLC content for Blackout,
They're gonna have to.
and it's not just like, hey, here's Blackout. Okay, are we getting anything else for it? Nope.
Right.
Enjoy Blackout.
And if they make you pay for more DLC of it, it's gonna be hell.
I'm not looking forward to Call of Duty's fucking pay format, and I'm not looking forward to having to deal with the fact that they're gonna, if they do DLC guns, the first DLC gun drop is normally when I quit playing the game.
Well, they're adding
It's
in
so-
League Play, which is gonna be sick.
Yeah,
Which is gonna
But it's
ban
like-
all the DLC guns. It's gonna ban.
that'll be nice, but it's like, it's still not fun for the average Joe to be like, when we played Black Ops 2 the other day, why am I gonna enjoy getting dicked on by some random loot box pistol that's better than the AR I'm using?
Yeah.
I was getting dicked on by some pistol from across trains. What do
Right.
you mean?
Right.
Couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
And every COD game has done it now. Every COD game adds new guns and new DLC. I didn't play IW long enough, but I'm betting they did it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No one really did though. Actually, well, I guess I can't actually for sure. But yeah, I think I mean, I'm gonna be streaming the beta this week. Oh, Clint, I wanted to say, if you get a beta, are you gonna get another beta code?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if anyone can go on.
I was
'cause I'd
thinking
like
if
to
we
play
could
the
get
day
one for
before.
Xbox.
I'm not gonna touch it on my Xbox.
I'm gonna be doing it on Xbox.
I won't. It's Xbox and PC this weekend. I'm just gonna play it on PC.
Come on. We'll talk about this later. But
There's no talking about it because why would I launch up my Xbox, which I think is messed up, and use the one code I'm gonna get on that when I can just play it on PC?
will you at least download it for free on Xbox?
It won't be for free on Xbox.
They come out free the day after.
No, there's a guaranteed open PC beta. There's not a guaranteed open console beta
So why would you use the code on the one that's guaranteed open?
because I want the extra day.
Oh, okay. Anyways, if the breakout works out, I think that's the dethroner of Fortnite.
I don't. I just don't. I don't think that it's convincing enough for most people to buy a brand that they've already come. That most people, younger kids, don't really see COD as a big game anymore. 'Cause it's not. And then those like OGs of us that miss COD, we've been let down so many times. I'm not pre-ordering the game. I'm gonna wait. Give it 2 weeks of watching streamers before I even consider buying it. So
Yeah.
it's like, why would it, like if I'm if I would literally I pre-ordered special editions 3 CODs in a row. Back in Black Ops, I ordered the Black Ops 2 one. Which other one did I do?
Ghosts.
Oh, I might have done the Ghost one. But I've done 3 of them, which I did way beforehand. So that's like $150 versions of the game. I was excited for every one of those. And I was still excited enough for last year's, even though I knew it was going to be a letdown, that I pre-ordered the special edition to get all the DLC maps.
I think this year's the year.
I hope you're right, but I just think you're going to be wrong.
I think
Because
if I get a
I just
PS4,
think-
I'm pre-ordering it. Like that's just.
I just think that COD, you're not going to get a PS4 before the launch date. There's just no way.
We'll see.
But I just think that I've been let down too many times to be willing to sit there and put money into a pre-order for a game that I don't know. I doubt it could be good, but who knows? Maybe another version of PUBG comes out, not PUBG, like another nowhere game designer comes out that ends up just launching an amazing game. Who knows? Fortnite came out of nowhere. I heard about the Just Survive, but I had only heard about it. I hadn't ever played it or been interested in it. And then Fortnite's Battle Royale came out and just swept the world away.
Right.
So, I don't know. Maybe that'll happen again.
I think
But
that's.
I don't know. I think that your hopes for COD are way higher than mine.
Definitely.
So,
I just.
I've been let down by that game, that Activision, so many times already.
I'm with you
in-
there.
And they're just going to release another fucking game that is going to have DLC guns. That just like, why? Why would I want to buy a game where like I have to pay for, like, it's not even like, if they would change their pay style, they would make it where I could just buy the guns. If they made it where you put a gun in that's better, okay, that's fine, but make it accessible to everybody. Don't make it this fucking money greedy bullshit of here's COD points. Buy $100 worth of COD points, but you're not guaranteed the gun. COD was literally the epitome of the YouTube videos of I bought $100 worth of COD points. Can I get the new gun? Every game creator was doing it
Right.
because it would be very rare that they actually get all the new DLC content spending $100.
Which is
When
bull.
when like Fortnite, let alone it's not guns, they give the gun access to everybody. Like a skin, if I just want to buy it, I just buy it. It's just there. And then like You have a game like Overwatch, who also does a random loot crate system, but it's not guns. It's all cosmetics.
And you can buy the cosmetics with coins that you can grind up on.
So it's like to sit there and say that like COD makes the most money because they're the most money greedy fucking dev studio ever.
True.
Activision is an ownership company that cares only about money. They will and now that they make so much money, I don't think they'll ever go back, which I think is the biggest ruiner of the game. I think that it doesn't. Nobody's gonna want to play your game when you have to put so much money into it just to stay competitive.
Right.
I shouldn't have to spend $150 to increase my odds of getting a DLC gun that's better than everyone else.
Yeah.
I just shouldn't have. It's just stupid. And then it's like, oh, look at like Black Ops 3. Oh, well, you earned loot boxes. Okay, I'd earn one loot box every 2 levels, maybe. And then I'd max out. You can max out levels and stop earning them. And they were just common ones that you never got anything out of anyway. And they launched one gun with 32 cosmetic items.
Right. It was impossible. It was meant to be that way. It always was.
Everything about the way they release content and they release new guns in particular. The gun part drives me nuts. But the way that they release content is the least friendly, and I think that it's the reason a lot of people don't trust them as to give them entertainment.
You're not wrong, which is why I think the only way this changes is if the streamer culture changes on Twitch.
I just don't think that it's going to move to COD. I think that Fortnite will stay above COD.
I think Shroud can save COD.
I just don't think even Shroud will play it enough.
Shroud looked so excited for this game.
I think that they look excited for it, but I don't think it's going to be a game that they stay on every single day.
We'll see.
I think that
Time will tell.
There was like a PC version of like a COD-like game that like Summit and Shroud went and played for a little while, and it was like a better World War II, like more simple, just shoot-based game. And they were all acting like they were super excited for it, and then it never stuck because it ended up not being great.
Yeah,
So,
I think if Shroud, Summit, and Dr. Disrespect all get on COD and play it like it's an everyday game, I think it takes over. Personally.
I don't know. To say it takes over, I don't know. I think that Ninja finding another game. I think that like Realm had some promise. It had a bunch of new ideas, but they're updating that game into the ground. Anything else? Overwatch is unfortunately updating itself into the ground.
Every game seems to. It's why games cycle through.
Man, Warframe came in with like a hot topic for a minute. That was fun.
Yeah. I think
I just want, you know what game I want, and I don't even want it to be big.
What?
I want an open world survival game that's good. Like really good. Like Subnautica good.
Really?
If you haven't played Subnautica, go buy it. Worth it. So much fun. Best open world builder game I've ever played. It's so entertaining. If that dev studio could get funding to do another game in another like world, I'd do it.
I guess I'm just looking for a Call of Duty. A good Call of Duty is what I'm looking for.
I have given up on there being a good Call of Duty. That's kind of my point. Is like, I just don't think that there's. I think that the chances are low that the devs can really make COD great again, because even Black Ops 3, even though it was good, it wasn't even close to being great. None of the I was on Twitch back then. Nick Merckx, that was back when Nick Merckx was pulling 2K viewers. Now he's pulling 20K. Playing Fortnite. That's been recent.
Right.
So it's like the Fortnite trend has just increased. Almost everyone that's played is viewers. Very few people who haven't played it haven't been affected by it.
Sure.
Like, I don't know.
I think that's fair enough. I mean, Fortnite's going to be hard for people that have become successful to leave, but I mean,
Sure.
every game's going to die.
I got it. Destiny 3. That's gonna be the future of gaming. Destiny, you were such a letdown.
Oh, dude,
I'm
I
looking
remember
through
how
the-
excited I was for Destiny and just
I'm looking through the list on Twitch and just looking at some of these games.
Actually, Destiny was some of the most fun I ever had until I hit level 20. Once I hit level 20, I was kind of like, well,
Destiny was fun, but Destiny was such a letdown when you realize that your missions overlap on the exact same place, facing the exact same enemies, going the exact same path. Only, oh hey, there was a fork here. You turn left before it. Now you turn right.
it's the exact same thing, yeah.
It was literally so much repetition, and then it's like, oh well, there was an online. Okay, it's just another online shooter. I didn't think it was very good. I didn't think it was special. But I didn't think it was great, I guess.
Some people love it though. So there's a Destiny fan base.
Yeah,
that
there
love
is.
that game.
I didn't like it, and I wasn't willing to sink money into Destiny 2. And it's funny because after all the DLC had released, this is like getting off topic, but I learned that they developed all of Destiny as an
Mhm.
open world game, a fully open world game. And the game studio, not the devs, not the game devs, the ownership studio saw the idea and said, we want it where you can travel between worlds. And the designer who had designed the entire game up to this point said, that's not my vision. That's not what I see the game as. And they said, well, that's what we want. And he said, I'm not doing it. And they said, fine. And they kicked him off the project, which ended up being why Destiny was such a shit show. And it was like, you had these weird sections of games. Like it ended up being that Destiny sold you a game with all the DLC on it. They didn't make a new piece of content. He sold you an unlock code that basically formatted the content on the disc.
It's really weird.
It was terrible. It was a horribly done game.
Yeah.
Could have been great. Could have been Halo's the next Halo, but it did everything wrong.
Maybe we should save some of this for another topic of just letdown games instead of just using it all here. I mean,
life is all these games have been a letdown.
I mean, an hour and 30 minutes. That's not a bad time for this podcast. Not too much rendering time. Took
No, I
all of
think-
yesterday.
I disagree that COD will be the guaranteed replacement of
Maybe
Fortnite. I just
I'm
think
too
that-
hopeful.
I don't know. I think that I'm looking forward. I almost want to get through this season because I'm ready for a new map for Fortnite. A new map would change things up. And not just like these map changes, like a new map. Completely new. When it says like Worlds Collide, make the next update where the whole world switches. Make it be like we're transitioning through the season and the end of it is a new map. Which is kind
Yeah.
of what I'm hoping is it's going to be. Because I haven't even been playing Fortnite. I haven't been interested. You know what? I'm waiting for them to settle on guns and a meta to kind of settle.
See, I'm not even
Before I get
waiting
back
on
into it.
anything. I'm just not gonna get back into it. I'm done with it.
I'm
That's
not
just me,
done with
though.
it. It's just, I mean, I still play PUBG, so.
That's also true. But anything else you want to say before we end, man?
If the devs at Subnautica are out there, make another game, please. I love you.
It's true. You do
If the
really like
COD
those
devs are out
games.
there, I was very serious. Fuck you. I hate you.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about them ruining Modern Warfare for me. It makes me sad and depressed and upset and makes me want to just meet me at TwitchCon, guys. Meet me at TwitchCon. I'll have a discussion with you about how you ruined the best game ever.
Funny. Well, I think that's a good way to end then. Fuck you,
Alright.
COD designers, other than Treyarch.
Fuck you, COD designer.
But,
Treyarch, don't you fuck it up either.
Yeah,
Got
Treyarch.
2 months.
You
months
three
to
for
not fuck it
three
up.
so far. 3 for 3. Let's keep it 4, baby. I'm gonna be streaming. I don't know if Clint's going to with me. I was hoping he would get it on Xbox, but I'm gonna be streaming the Xbox beta all weekend long. Probably insanely long streams, just going in on that game. So if you guys do want to catch that live at twitch.tv/jayflight, JAYFLYT, and you can also catch the man on my right. Sorry, yeah, my man on my right at twitch.tv/beardedskills.
I don't know why we're not playing the PC version, considering it launches for free this weekend.
I'll download it as well. Anyways, we're live every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We appreciate everybody that stops by every week, and hope you guys enjoy what we have to say. Anything else, Clint?
I hope you enjoyed my anger today.
He was a little passionate, a little heated, huh?
Oh, I was upset. That's what I was. Ready for a new game.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, this has been the Bearded J Podcast, episode 3 on Fortnite and I guess Call of Duty and disappointing games in general.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.